Math of ESP, presented to you by Peasant Productions. The Math of ESP, why it works, even if you don't believe in it. Now, as I've been explaining through all of this, excuse me while I fiddle with these, the absolutes of what you have in your mind will determine what your world is like around you. And this doesn't matter whether you go and read what the philosophical yogis of 5,000 years, 7,000 years ago had to say, or you go and you listen to a quantum physicist talk about the reality that consciousness does in fact control this physical realm. Therefore, the spiritual realm is actually something that must exist because consciousness is outside of the physical realm if it can control a physical realm. Absolute logic there, folks, okay? You do not control something from the inside. Put yourself in a glass jar. The filament inside of this light bulb, whether it's an incandescent bulb, an LED like this is, a fluorescent bulb, anything of that sort, the element inside doesn't control how the electricity gets there. Okay? It controls what happens to that electricity once it gets there. Okay, it produces a particular kind of light based on the idea of what type of an element you have. And just as you have different light bulbs, different colors of light, different variations of light, different light wavelengths, you have a whole series of different things possible. Light is not just one thing. I mean, I have three different photographic, actually four different photographic lights here in front of me that I can turn on and use when I'm taking photographs or when I'm doing this video. I have a silver background over here with a very hard light that hits me quite brightly. I have a little bit softer one to give me some dimension. I have a gold one over there to give me some gold coloring and produce more of a softer mood. I have a strip light if I want to do something which I can affect with different colors and different treatments again on that, okay? So there is an awful lot of variation. Now, as I'm pointing out, when you think for yourself, you don't just want side A or side B, okay? If you look at anything around you in today's modern world, what do they want? They want you to accept that it is either side A or side B. They don't want you to see that it's both the same sides of the same coin. And the reason being is very simple. You pick up one of these, and they all tell you the same thing. You accept what we say on blind faith of who we are, what we are, and what we're preaching. Okay? If you are a Buddhist, and you pick up a Buddhist book, and you actually read about Buddhism, about Buddha and his life, you will see that it is extremely different than what the Dalai Lama is running around preaching to everybody, what the Buddhist preacher down the street is preaching. He's preaching you should sit and forever. Buddha became enlightened and walked his world to make a difference. He chose to walk around and make a difference, okay? You don't have to pick up one of these things, read it, and decide to go out and change the world. That's not a necessity. But if you do not sit down and read this Bible, and you only listen to what a preacher on the pulpit in a church is screaming at you while he's waving, "Thou gonna burn in hell, and if you don't pray to me and put money in my tithing box," and however he particularly wants to say it, you're going to be very misled. Because the preacher on A Street in Los Angeles is going to be saying something different than the preacher on Santa Clara Street in Santa Clara, or Santa Barbara, or San Francisco, or Portland, Oregon, or Washington, D.C., or St. Paul, Minnesota, or St. Louis, or Pensacola, Florida. Understand? Every last one of those people has a different opinion. Therefore, they're going to say something different. The only reason they won't say something different is because they are preaching the dogma, not the truth, the dogma of what this says. Now, again, you have this huge... forgot my water. You have this huge thing going on in modern society right now where they're running around and the people in charge are telling you that you have to let them control what you see because you are being exposed to fake news. You are being exposed to extremists. You are being exposed to people who are going to mislead you. Who really ends up misleading you? The people that want you to only see what they want you to see. Okay? Like a flat earth person. You challenge them to produce science of what they're saying, and they run away very, very quickly. If you don't believe it, go look at stuff on my Twitter feed. You will see. Every time they're challenged, they start calling me crazy and calling me names and telling me I'm stupid and ignorant because I can't see that they have the absolute proof in their two-dimensional photographs that deny my two-dimensional photographs prove anything. Absolute proof by using the same thing that I have. They do not like the fact that I sit there and say, okay, but what about the fact that I crossed the equator in 1969 and for my own purposes I did the Coriolis effect experiment and I proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is real, it does happen, and therefore how are you going to disprove that? And they run away. Because they are realizing that they are dealing with somebody that has actually challenged and done experimentation. I am not accepting something on blind faith. So when you have a government telling you they want to use censorship to protect you from bad people, you better look at the fact that they are probably the bad people themselves and they are trying to protect their stuff. Again, way back in one of my other lectures, who always tells you, shh, this is our secret? The abusive person. The person abusing the little child sexually doesn't want the child to tell anyone that that person is doing it. It doesn't make any difference if it's a man or a woman doing the sexual abuse. They both do not want the child telling anybody that they are being touched incorrectly. The person that is abusive with a fist always tells the other person, you shut your mouth or I'll kill you. You shut your mouth or I'll beat you. What does the parent that has no love for their child say? They're smacking them around, the kid's in tears, and they tell you, you shut the fuck up or I'll give you something to really cry about, and they wave a fist. Yeah. They are not in any way showing compassion for their child. They are not in any way showing that they care about the child. They are showing that they are a dominant, expressively violent person. Yeah. Donald Trump gets up there telling everybody how he's going to bring peace to the world. And by the way, those liberal people over there, go beat the snot out of them. Yeah. Doesn't even finish a statement about peace before he is adding in to use violence against the people he doesn't like. I'm a whistleblower. I saw this and knew it was happening, knew it was coming. In 2015, I knew Donald Trump would be the next president, and I got the heck out of the country. You know, less than 24 hours, he's authorized military use against Native Americans to be removed from their land that they have been sitting on for over 100 years, that was given to them in concession for the fact that the United States government has stole everything else from them. Okay? And he was authorizing military use to go ahead and remove those people from that land so that his personal business venture and his buddies that own money and the company that was involved in DAPL could go ahead and go through with a pipeline that has already burst and leaked several times now. Okay? 100% bald-faced lie, 100% bald-faced, I don't care about the American people, because he's polluting your water source. He is polluting everything that runs down the Mississippi River, which means there's what? Almost 100 million people directly affected by Donald Trump saying, screw the environment, screw the human people, screw the American people, screw the kids, screw the future. Yeah. Okay? So why is he up there screaming about fake news? Because he doesn't want you to look at that. He doesn't want you to look at the fact that if he's going to clean the swamp out, why does he want all the whistleblowers arrested? Whistleblowers like me, we're the ones that walk out there and point out corruption. So we should be the ones he's inviting to the White House. Not Goldman Sachs. Not Rothschilds. Yeah. He's got all the big bankers, all the money power, all the 0.001% elite reach running around holding his coattails. And of course, if the American public get mad at him and throw him out of office, somebody goes and shoots him even, for that matter. With the fake news stuff and all the shootings that I've seen, I would not be the slightest bit surprised to see a fake assassination of Trump even. He would love to go down in history as an assassinated person and all of his debt be wiped out that fast, yes. His family would be loving it. They would be forever indebted because the United States government would give them money forever. But, yeah, he's running around doing all that. And you got this guy called Pence in the background. And if you look at the history of Mike Pence, he's a heck of a lot worse than Donald Trump. Nobody cares. Nobody pays attention. Nobody thinks about that. They're screaming, we got to impeach Trump. And they don't think about the fact, okay, you impeach Trump and you put this other guy there. So he is literally... Hindenburg was voted into office in Germany. Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany by Hindenburg. So if Trump was voted in, so to speak, as President of the United States, he's ousted. And Pence steps in. Pence is literally the Hitler person. An absolute fascist, racist, white supremacist who touts his religion as a weapon. Yeah. That's why I say, when you start getting into learning to think, the last thing you want is a lack of information available to you. The last thing you want.